Life feels like a constant race. Your mind is always jumping between the past and the future, regretting mistakes, worrying about what's next. Anxiety, stress, and overthinking have become a normal part of life. But what if I told you that true peace, true happiness, and true freedom already exist within you? What if the only thing standing between you and a fulfilled life is your inability to embrace the present moment? That's the core message of The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book has changed millions of lives by teaching a simple but profound truth: the present moment is all you ever truly have. When you learn to live in the now, you unlock a level of peace that no amount of money, success, or external validation can ever give you. If you're ready to take control of your mind, let go of unnecessary suffering, and truly experience life, then stay with me. And if you want more life-changing lessons like this, make sure to subscribe, because every insight you gain brings you one step closer to the peace you deserve. In this breakdown, we'll explore 25 key lessons from The Power of Now that will help you break free from mental suffering, silence the mind, and live fully in the present. Let's begin. Number 1. The present moment is all that exists. Most people live trapped in their minds, replaying past mistakes or worrying about the future. But the past is already gone, and the future doesn't exist yet. The only real moment you ever have is now. When you fully embrace the present, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. But the mind constantly tries to distract you with regrets and anxieties, keeping you locked in pain. True freedom comes when you realize that no past event can hurt you unless you continue to dwell on it. Similarly, no future event can scare you unless you allow your thoughts to run wild. The key is to train yourself to stay present, observing each moment as it unfolds without judgment or resistance. This shift in perspective can completely transform your life. Number 2. You are not your thoughts. Your mind is like a radio that never stops playing, constantly producing thoughts, worries, and self-criticisms. But just because these thoughts appear in your head doesn't mean they define you. You are not your mind, you are the observer of your mind. The problem arises when people identify too strongly with their thoughts, believing every negative story their mind tells them. This creates unnecessary stress, fear, and unhappiness. The moment you understand that your thoughts are just mental noise, you gain power over them. Instead of reacting to every thought emotionally, practice watching them as if they were passing clouds in the sky. By stepping back and observing your thoughts rather than getting lost in them, you break free from their control and start experiencing true peace. Number 3. Overthinking is the root of suffering. Most people don't realize that their pain doesn't come from their actual life circumstances. It comes from the stories their mind tells them about those circumstances. The mind constantly analyzes, judges, and overthinks, creating stress where there doesn't need to be any. Imagine experiencing a moment of stillness, no thoughts, no worries, just pure awareness of the present moment. That is where true peace exists. But as soon as you let your mind take over, it starts pulling you back into fears and regrets. Breaking this habit isn't easy, but it starts with awareness. Each time you catch yourself overthinking, pause and bring your attention back to the present. The more you practice this, the more freedom you'll feel. Over time, you'll realize that most of the suffering you experience is self-created. Number 4. The illusion of time is what keeps you stuck. Most people live their lives trapped in time, either lost in the past or obsessing over the future. But time is nothing more than a mental construct. The only moment that truly exists is now. The more you focus on time, the more you resist life as it is, creating unnecessary stress. If you believe happiness will come someday when you achieve a goal, you are postponing your ability to feel joy. Similarly, if you carry past regrets, you keep old pain alive. The key is to stop chasing the future and reliving the past. Instead, shift your awareness to what is happening right now. When you truly realize that the present is all you ever have, your entire perspective on life changes. You stop waiting for happiness and start living it. Number 5. Pain only exists in resistance. Pain is not caused by what happens to you, it is caused by your resistance to what happens. Life unfolds as it does, whether you accept it or not. But when you resist reality and wish things were different, you create suffering. The secret to emotional freedom is learning to accept life exactly as it is, without labeling it as good or bad. This doesn't mean you shouldn't take action to improve your life, but you must do so from a place of inner peace rather than inner struggle. The more you accept the present moment, the less power circumstances have over you. You become unshakable because nothing outside of you can disturb your peace unless you allow it to. Number 6. Emotional pain is an addiction. Have you ever noticed how people replay painful experiences in their minds over and over again? They relive old arguments, hold on to grudges, and keep their wounds fresh. Why? Because emotional pain is addictive. The mind thrives on drama. It keeps you engaged in suffering because that's what it knows. But pain does not heal pain. The only way to free yourself is to break the habit of identifying with past suffering. Each time you feel pain, ask yourself, am I choosing to hold on to this, or can I let it go? Letting go is not about ignoring your emotions. It's about realizing that you don't have to keep feeding them. When you finally stop fueling your pain with thoughts, it begins to dissolve naturally. Number 7. The ego thrives on fear and control. The ego is the voice in your head that always wants more. It craves attention, approval, and power. It thrives on fear and keeps you constantly chasing happiness in external things. But no matter what you achieve, the ego is never satisfied. It always wants the next thing, keeping you in a cycle of never feeling enough. The truth is, the ego is an illusion. It's just a collection of thoughts and beliefs that you've mistaken for your identity. The more you listen to it, the more you suffer. True peace comes when you recognize that you are not your ego, you are the awareness behind it. The moment you stop identifying with your ego's fears, you break free from its control. Number 8. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. Most people think peace comes from controlling their external world, but real peace comes from accepting life as it is. This doesn't mean you should tolerate negativity or never take action, but rather that you stop resisting reality. Every time you resist what is happening, you create unnecessary suffering. When you accept the present moment fully, even if it's difficult, you create space for inner peace. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means responding to life from a place of clarity instead of reaction. The moment you stop arguing with reality, you experience a deep sense of freedom. Number 9. The body holds unprocessed pain. Your mind is not the only place where pain exists. Your body also stores emotional wounds. When you suppress feelings instead of processing them, they don't just disappear. They get trapped in your body, creating tension, stress, and even physical illness. This is why so many people carry a heavy, unexplainable burden. It's the weight of unhealed emotions. To release it, you must bring awareness to it. Observe where in your body you feel pain, breathe into it, and allow it to be felt fully. The more you do this, the more your body releases stored trauma, making space for true healing. Number 10. Presence is the end of anxiety. Anxiety is created by living in the future. Your mind races with worries about things that haven't even happened yet. But when you bring your attention fully to the present moment, anxiety dissolves. Why? Because in the now, there are no problems. Life is simply happening, and you are experiencing it. The next time you feel anxious, stop and ask yourself, is there an actual problem right now, or is it just my mind creating fear? You'll find that most of the time, anxiety is nothing more than a mental illusion. When you ground yourself in the present, fear loses its power over you. Number 11. Surrender to what is. Surrender doesn't mean giving up or resigning to fate. It means letting go of your need to control the outcome of every situation. The more you try to control life, the more it slips through your fingers. Surrendering is the act of accepting what is happening in the present moment without resistance. This act of letting go doesn't mean you stop taking action, but you stop fighting reality. You learn to flow with life rather than resist it. When you surrender, you move with the current of life instead of struggling against it, making everything less stressful. Surrender is where true strength lies. It's a powerful state of peace and acceptance. Life becomes easier, and your mind finds rest because you no longer need to fight against what's already happening. Number 12. You are not your thoughts. Most people believe that they are their thoughts, but the truth is, your thoughts are just passing phenomena. The mind constantly generates thoughts, but you are not those thoughts. When you attach yourself to every thought, you give them the power to control you. This leads to stress, anxiety, and self-doubt. The key to mental freedom is realizing that you can observe your thoughts without identifying with them. This awareness creates a gap between you and your thoughts. In that gap, you discover your true nature, your inner peace. You begin to see that your mind is like a river, and you are the witness standing on the bank. Instead of being swept away by the current, you observe the flow with a sense of calm detachment. Number 13. your mind is not in control, you are. We often allow our thoughts to control our emotions and actions. But in reality, you are not your mind, you are the awareness that observes the mind. The mind may try to dictate your feelings, thoughts, and reactions, but when you recognize your true nature, you gain control over your mind. You realize that you don't have to react to every thought. Instead, you can choose how to respond to situations with calmness and clarity. True strength lies in realizing you are the observer, not the thinker. Once you embrace this realization, you stop being a slave to your thoughts and emotions. You begin to live consciously, with intention, choosing peace over reaction. The power to change your life lies in recognizing this fundamental truth about who you truly are. Number 14. Stillness is where wisdom resides. In a world full of noise and distractions, finding stillness is one of the most powerful things you can do for your well-being. When you are constantly busy, your mind is cluttered, making it difficult to make wise decisions or gain clarity. Stillness allows you to hear your inner voice, the voice of wisdom that always knows what's best for you. It's in moments of quiet reflection that your intuition comes through. When you create space in your life to pause and be still, you tap into a deeper knowing that guides you. Stillness isn't a sign of weakness, it's the space where you reconnect with your inner truth. This is where you find peace, healing, and the ability to navigate life with calmness. Through stillness, you align with the universe and unlock the true potential within you. Number 15. Thoughts are energy and create your reality. Your thoughts are not just random, they carry energy that influences your reality. Every thought you have sends out vibrations into the world, which attract experiences that match those vibrations. When you constantly think negative thoughts, you attract negative circumstances into your life. On the other hand, when you think positive thoughts, you align with higher frequencies, attracting abundance, peace, and joy. By becoming aware of your thoughts and intentionally shifting them, you begin to transform your reality. This is the law of attraction in action. Your thoughts shape the world around you. The power of awareness gives you the ability to consciously create the life you want. By aligning your thoughts with your desires, you shift the energy in your favor. Number 16. Your life is a reflection of your inner state. Your external reality is a direct reflection of your internal world. The way you think, feel, and perceive the world around you influences the circumstances you attract. If your inner world is filled with negativity, fear, or insecurity, your external reality will mirror that energy, creating stress and dissatisfaction. But when you work on cultivating inner peace, gratitude, and love, your outer world transforms to reflect those positive states. Your relationships improve, your health flourishes, and you find success. Change your inner world, and you will see the world around you change as well. This is why personal growth is the most powerful thing you can do, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. It all starts within. Number 17. True freedom comes from letting go of attachments. We are often attached to outcomes, possessions, and even relationships, believing that these things will give us lasting happiness. But attachment is the root of suffering. When we tie our happiness to external things, we become dependent on them for our well-being. True freedom comes when you can enjoy things without clinging to them. You realize that nothing in the external world can define you or your happiness. This doesn't mean you should stop enjoying life. It means you stop holding on to anything with desperation. When you let go of attachments, you open yourself up to experiencing life fully, without limitations. You become free to embrace life as it is, without the need to control or possess it. Number 18. The present moment is the only real thing. Most people live trapped in the past or worried about the future, rarely experiencing life as it is. But have you ever noticed that when you're deeply present, all worries fade away? That's because the past is just a memory and the future is only a thought. Neither truly exist. The only thing that is real is this moment, right now. Yet, we spend so much time caught in regret or fear that we miss what's right in front of us. Happiness is not something you find, it's something you allow when you fully embrace the present. If you learn to live in the now, you break free from suffering and experience life in its purest form. Every breath, every sound, every sensation, this is life happening right now. You just have to wake up to it. Number 19. Stop seeking yourself in the future. We tell ourselves, I will be happy when I get a better job, when I find love, when I have more money. But have you noticed that every time you reach a goal, the mind immediately replaces it with another? You keep chasing a future that never arrives. That's because happiness does not exist in some future moment, it exists only in the now. No amount of success, wealth, or validation will complete you if you are not already at peace within yourself. If you stop postponing happiness and start embracing the present, you will realize that you don't need to chase anything, your life is already whole. The key is to stop waiting for a perfect future and start living today. Number 20. Silence is more powerful than thought. Your mind is constantly thinking, analyzing, and overthinking, making you believe that thinking is the solution to everything. But real clarity does not come from thinking, it comes from silence. In moments of stillness, when the mental noise fades, something deeper emerges. This is where real wisdom is found, not in overanalyzing but in simply being. If you have ever felt a deep sense of peace in nature, in meditation, or in a quiet moment, then you have already tasted this truth. The more you connect with silence, the more you access your true self. Try it, pause, breathe, and listen to the stillness between your thoughts. That is where true peace exists. Number 21. Resistance is the root of suffering. Suffering is not caused by pain itself, it is caused by our resistance to pain. Think about it. When you resist reality, when you wish things were different, you create unnecessary suffering. Imagine trying to push back the ocean waves with your hands. It's exhausting and impossible. But if you stop resisting and flow with the waves, suddenly, everything becomes easier. The same applies to life. The more you resist what is happening, the more you suffer. The moment you stop fighting reality and accept things as they are, peace replaces struggle. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means trusting that you can handle whatever comes your way. Number 22. You are not your mind. Your thoughts are not who you are. If you were your thoughts, you wouldn't be able to observe them. But you can. You can step back and watch your mind as it worries, complains, and judges. This means you are something deeper, you are the awareness behind the thoughts. The mind is like a wild river, constantly moving, but you don't have to be swept away by it. You have the power to step back and simply observe. Once you stop identifying with every thought that enters your mind, you break free from its control. You are not your worries. You are not your fears. You are the awareness that can rise above them. Number 23. The ego thrives on problems. The ego does not want peace, it wants problems. Have you noticed that when life is calm, your mind quickly finds something to worry about? That's because the ego needs conflict to survive. It constantly seeks something to fix, something to fight against, something to be offended by. If you remove all problems, the ego has nothing left to do. But once you see this pattern, you can break free. You can stop identifying with the ego's need for struggle and choose peace instead. The moment you stop feeding the ego's drama, you realize that true happiness was always within you. It was just hidden behind unnecessary mental noise. Number 24. Life is now. Life is not happening in the past. It is not happening in the future. It is happening right now. Yet, most people are too distracted to notice it. They are waiting for the weekend, waiting for the perfect job, waiting for the right moment to be happy. But life is not something you wait for, it's something you live. Imagine fully experiencing every moment, every breath, every interaction. Imagine living so present that every second feels rich and alive. This is not just an idea, it's a choice. You can either sleepwalk through life, or you can wake up to it. The question is, will you choose now? Number 25. The present moment is enough. Your mind always tells you that something is missing. I need more success. I need more money. I need more love. But what if the present moment is already complete, and you just haven't noticed it yet? What if everything you're chasing is already within you? The truth is, you don't need to seek happiness, you just need to stop looking for it in the wrong places. Right now, in this very moment, you have everything you need. If you can accept this moment as it is, you will realize something powerful, you are already free. If you've made it this far, that means you are among the 1% of people who actually finish what they start. Most people give up halfway, but you kept going, and that says a lot about you. This is the kind of mindset that leads to real transformation. But learning is just the beginning. The real change happens when you apply these lessons to your life. So if you're serious about your growth, subscribe now. This is just the start of your journey, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. Your future self will thank you for it. Stay present, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next one.